The bill came to $15,000. One dinner, one table, at the Cheesecake Factory. The man who paid it had just turned 23, and he did this almost every week. He wasn't being robbed, he wasn't gambling, he was just ordering dessert. And it was quietly destroying him. 7 years later, a man who earned $34 million would file for bankruptcy. This is the story of how a fortune disappears, not in one bad bet, but one cheesecake at a time. In 2005, Vince Young was the most electric player in college football. To understand how far he fell, you first have to see how high he started. On January 4th, 2006, he played what many still call the greatest game in college football history. It was the national championship against a USC team that everyone said could not be beaten. He ran for 200 yards. He threw for 267 more. And with the title on the line and 19 seconds left on 4th down, he ran it into the end zone himself. The losing coach called it the greatest performance he had ever seen. A few months later, the Tennessee Titans made him the 3rd overall pick in the draft. He signed a deal worth up to $58 million, with $25.7 million guaranteed. He won Offensive Rookie of the Year, and he went to 2 Pro Bowls. By 23, he had earned more money than most people will see in 10 lifetimes. For a kid raised by his mother in a hard part of Houston, the number didn't feel real, so he spent it like it wasn't. To understand what happened next, you need a 300-year-old story. A French writer was once given a beautiful scarlet robe, and he loved it. But next to something so fine, his old chair suddenly looked shabby. So he replaced the chair, then the desk, then the rug, then the entire room. One nice thing had made everything around it look poor. Economists gave it a name, the Diderot Effect, the way a single upgrade quietly demands a dozen more. Vince Young was about to live it at full speed. It started small, the way it always does. He picked up the tab for his teammates, then for their friends. $5,000 a week at the Cheesecake Factory became routine, and routine is the dangerous word. He built his mother a house, and he bought a relative 2 cars. On a Southwest flight from Nashville to Houston, he tried to buy every seat on the plane, just to have some quiet. Plenty of other people were spending it too. He fed the friends, the cousins, the people who showed up. There were always more people at the table, more friends who needed a favor, more hands reaching out, because he had never learned how to say no. He paid for all of it. None of these were insane on their own. Each one felt like something a rich man should simply be able to do. And that is exactly how lifestyle inflation works. It never tells you the moment you went too far. Here's the part nobody feels in the moment. His income was not a river. It was a bucket. The contracts would end, the endorsements would end, but the life he built around them was designed to last forever. A ratchet only turns one way. You can raise your spending in a single afternoon. Cutting it back can take years, and more pride than most people have. And for Vince Young, the bill was about to come due all at once. In 2011, the NFL locked out its players. The paychecks stopped, the lifestyle did not. So Vince Young borrowed. He took a loan of $1.9 million at 20% interest. Read that again. 20%. That is not the interest rate of a man making a plan. It is the interest rate of a man who has stopped doing the math. But here is the twist most people never hear. The most expensive mistake might not have even been his. While money poured out the front door, more was slipping out the back. Young would later sue his former agent and a financial planner, claiming they misappropriated $5.5 million. He said someone had forged his signature, document after document. This is the second trap of sudden wealth. The people you hire to watch the money are sometimes the ones watching you. By 2014, it was over. Vince Young filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. On paper, his assets were under $1 million. His debts ran as high as $10 million. The quarterback who once tried to buy an entire airplane could no longer cover his own bills. $34 million in salary, tens of millions more in endorsements, gone. For a while, he believed he could simply earn it all back. In 2017, at 33 years old, he signed with a team in the Canadian Football League, chasing one last shot at the game. He tore his hamstring in training camp. Within weeks, he was cut. The comeback was over before it ever really began. The money, the talent, the second chances, one by one, all of it had run out. It's easy to laugh at the cheesecake, but almost no one loses a fortune in one dramatic mistake. They lose it the way Vince Young did, slowly, comfortably, one reasonable upgrade at a time. The robe makes the room look poor. The raise makes the old life look small. And spending quietly rises to swallow whatever you earn. The lesson isn't that Vince Young was reckless. It's that the Ratchet is patient. It worked on a star quarterback, and it is working on the rest of us right now. The only defense is to notice the robe before it redecorates your entire life. If the strange ways money slips away are your thing, you are in the right place.